Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 104 of The Twim Show. This is your host, Sajid Islam. Today, I'll be going over the notable news and update from the week of April 11, 2022. So today, first off, we have an update from TikTok. TikTok has launched Effect House augmented reality creation platform. This is something that was launched actually last November as a closed beta where only select few developers were invited, but now TikTok has opened it up to everyone on the TikTok universe. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to create vibrant effects for your TikTok. And TikTok already has says that over the 450 effect creators have published more than 1.5 billion videos, and they have garnered over 600 billion views globally. So again, this is something TikTok is pushing forward, similar to what Facebook is doing with augmented reality and probably with Snapchat as well. So TikTok is someone who doesn't want to be left behind, and you know what? It's there. So, and I would say if you are not on TikTok, then you should be on TikTok. You need to figure out an angle to be on TikTok. I know on our podcast, I've talked about us being on TikTok, and obviously our initial effort on being on TikTok didn't really play out. This summer, starting June, we are going to again refocus back on TikTok and try a new strategy, and hopefully this will get us some results that we've been looking for. Okay, with that, let's move on to Snapchat, because we just talked about Snap a little bit. About when you talked about augmented reality, Snapchat has introduced Dynamic Stories. Dynamic Stories, basically Snapchat partners with their publishers. They have the list of approved publishers, and their updates are going to come into Snapchat as a dynamic story feed. So this allows Snapchat audiences or Snapchat users, snappers or Snapchatters to be more in tune with the news and happening in the world. Now, keep in mind, this is something very similar to what Google has with Google Discover. Okay. As I was reading this announcement, I realized, man, this is exactly Google Discover. And actually, it's a brilliant move from Snapchat, if you ask me, because when I go to my Google app, even though I am on iOS, I have an iPad, and as well as on my mobile, I have a Google app. And when I go there, all these cards show up with updates, latest news, and things from Google partner, and that changes from time to time. So it creates this effect where if I don't click on it now, it's going to go away. I do not know what it is. I click on it, and Snapchat is bringing that in. So Snapchat has about 319 million daily active users. So it's a way for Snapchat to keep their active users on the platform and, inform them through trusted content partners, and also, engage and things like that. So this is a good move from Snapchat. In fact, if I were to mention, I would say my gut feeling is that this is something other platforms are going to copy, definitely. Hopefully, I think Facebook is going to copy this, whether it's for the Instagram or whether it's for the Facebook Reels, they're going to copy it. If not, they're going to lose out. Okay, with that, let's move on to the next update. The next update is from Pinterest. Pinterest has partnered with WooCommerce, have launched an extension. WooCommerce, there are over 3 million businesses out there who uses WooCommerce as their shop. And now people who are using WooCommerce, they can actually, through this extension, they will be able to publish all their products into Pinterest as shoppable pin. This is big. Like, you remember back a couple of months ago, Google did a partnership with WooCommerce where WooCommerce merchants can basically push directly into Google. Then Microsoft did the same partnership with WooCommerce. So the theme here is that focus is on e-commerce, and it's not going to be, and I believe Shopify also did a partnership with WooCommerce or something like that. If not, some Shopify will have to figure out, how can they bring WooCommerce merchants into Shopify, even though Shopify and WooCommerce kind of compete head to head, though WooCommerce is kind of a free plugin. Coming back, this is big because if you are a merchant, if you have a shop owner who has WooCommerce, this is good. Now you can push it out into Pinterest and you get more likes, visibility, things like that. Hey, if you get a one extra sale by just plugging into this plugin, why not? Okay, With that, let's move into Facebook world. Meta has introduced creator funding programs to grow the metaverse. First of all, there is a 10 million expansion on its Horizon Worlds creator funding program. This is something that began last year. Horizon World is Meta's virtual reality sandbox where users can create their own immersive worlds. And now, Facebook is giving people who are doing fantastic work in Horizon bonuses. As typical with Meta/Facebook, it's very unclear what the criteria are to get this, a portion of this $10 million. How much you can get, how much you may not get, things like that. All in all, it's a good move because Facebook is realizing, or Meta is realizing, look, there's only so much heavy lifting I can do. All these platforms that are going out there that are doing things are actually because of user-generated content. This is the era of user-generated content. So let's bring them in, bring their creativity in, and we will, incentivize them. We will give them, the dollar amount, and they're going to be happy. Now, the challenge with this is as I was reading this announcement, is it's half-baked. What's the criteria? What are the set of things that I need to do to be able to get this thing? Whether is it view, likes, downloads, things like that. It's very unclear. Maybe it's there. I just didn't get it. But anyway. Also, Meta is obviously creating a test program which will allow some creators to sell virtual products and effects within their virtual world. I am of two minds with that. Number one is, yes, NFT has picked up, as well as there is going to be people who are going to purchase things online. So imagine you work hard in a physical world, right? You go to job, I go to job, or I go to my office, I work hard and I make money. Now, for me to take that money, convert it into digital stuff, buying it in the metaverse, which is an alternative reality, a virtual reality, and using that money to buy things, I think that doesn't work. What will work is, I can take a little bit of that portion of that money and convert it into whatever things I buy in the virtual world, but I should be able to have a way to make money in the virtual world so that I'm not converting my physical real world money into virtual world money and vice versa. Because there are a lot of other options of things that are happening, right? Again, at one point, they need to either collide and they need to come together. If not, where is the drop off point? And for example, my children, they play Roblox and they like to buy the children, right? They like to buy things on Roblox, which is a virtual world. Now, when they ask, I'm like, you are telling me that I need to take $10 of my physical money, convert it into this digital coin so that you can buy things on the virtual world. Makes no sense. Now, obviously, we have explained to them the value of hard work and the money and everything. That money is something you don't invest and do things in the virtual world, because what happens, you delete your Roblox, or what happens, we lose it, we do not know. So those are things Meta has to figure out, as well as all this virtual reality platform. But for now, there is this option for you to make money in the metaverse if you are willing to play that game. Okay, that's enough of Meta and virtual reality. Let's move on to the real world, which is Google world, the one that dominates 90% of the search market. So Google's John Mueller during a recent office hour have mentioned, that if you're updating lots of images with thousands of images at the same time, that's going to probably backfire. Please do not do that. Now, if you are making 5, 10, 15 images, you're in the clear, but he's talking about thousands, over 1,000 or 2,000 images at the same time. And if he's saying, if you do find yourself in a situation like that, for example, if you're a cooking or recipe website, then he's saying, rather than doing that, make sure you can redirect your old image URLs to a new URL. That's better. Or you can actually have a very, very fast response server so that Google does not have to wait for a response, because image is very, bandwidth and intensive, because it takes time to transfer an image. An image is usually of a bigger size than a text, things like that. Now, my advice to you on this show is that if you do find yourself in this unfortunate situation where you need to update a lot of image, just redirect. That's easier, faster, and you can keep track. Okay, next up is Google. There is no shortcut to rank in the featured section of the Google search results. This was again a question that was asked to John Mueller, and John Mueller was saying, someone was asking, hey, my client wants us to basically do something so that we can show up in this featured section of the Google search results. And the featured sections are those when you search for something, Google gives you like 4 or 5 different options with the drop down and gives you the answer. Here's the probably most common questions. John Mueller says, hey, there is no shortcut. There is no sideways. All you have to do is basically write proper blogs, proper web content, and helpful content, and eventually Google is going to pick up. That's all. It actually goes directly into what SEO is all about. SEO is all about, creating content that will answer people's question, period. If you're writing anything else, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so hope this helps you, because this is something very important, because it touches everything about SEO and organic traffic. So you need to pay attention. Next up, remember to register for Google Marketing Live, which is going to be happening on May 24, 2022. We have registered, so if you don't catch it, that's fine. We are going to bring you the latest and greatest on what's happening over there to this show. So if you just follow us, if you're listening to this show, you're already covered. You don't have to go take out the time and spend a day consuming all this content. We're going to bring it to you. Okay, next up, which is the last update, was that the YouTube Search Insights feature is now available to all creators. This was something we covered in November 2021. However, it was only to select creators. Now it's open to everyone. This will allow you to understand what people are searching for in regards to your channel and content, as well as more broad search queries. So how is this going to help you? It's going to help you to create better YouTube content. So folks, if you do not have a YouTube channel, it is absolutely high time you have a YouTube channel. And if you have a YouTube channel, you need to look into Search Insights, which is something you will find out from the desktop. You go to Analytics, which is research section of the YouTube Studio, and it will provide information on the most popular topics among your viewers, as well as overall search volume for each and the amount of traffic your channel has received as a result of each query. They will also tell you some content gap searches, which are search phrases that don't generate a lot of results. YouTube will show a marker. The idea is that by displaying these queries, content creators will be able to focus on developing content that corresponds with searches that are currently being provided by the video in the app, perhaps opening up new opportunities for your efforts. So folks, that's it for this week in marketing. Thank you for tuning in. Until next week, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in this week. It was a pleasure to serve you all. Hit the subscribe button so that you remember to sign on next week. Same place, same time for another round of This Week in Marketing.